Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, shall we begin the session? Today, the same topic, that is a revision of procedure programming language. And today, I'm going to take with the decision control structure, that is chapter number 2. Yes, how to take the decision and what are the various control structure that is available. This includes a looping also. This includes the statements. And the statements include the if, switch, and the looping includes while loop, do while loop, for loop. So we all know that how to take the actions in the face of changing circumstances. If the weather is fine, then I will go for a stroll. If the highway is busy, I will take a diversion. So this is depends on the scenario. That means you have to take the decision. You have to take the action that is performed for this fine. In the same way, there is a decision control statement that is available in the C language. This is the if statement, if else statement, switch statement. So there are three kinds of statement: if else, switch. And if and the if else are the same, we can say, and the switch is different. There are three major decision making instructions. One is the if, one is the if else, one is the switch. Now, what is the difference between the if and the if else? If is only given the condition, then there is a statement to be executed. There is no else part. That means if there is a raining, yes, if there is a raining, I'm not going to the market. That is only the scenario. But if it is raining, I'm not going to the market. Else, I'm going to the market. That means else means otherwise. So there are two parts, if and the if else. Either we can use only if, I'm not going to the market, then if else I'm going to the market. So this depends on the scenario, this depends on the condition. If it is okay, then good, otherwise bad. Or there is only condition, that is only okay. Next is a switch. We can say that when there are multiple alternatives, when there are multiple, we can say the solution, then we use the switch statement. Best example is that if I want to calculate the days of we can say the week, yeah, days of the week, that is from the Monday. If I press the 1, that represents the Monday, 2, Tuesday, and so on till Sunday. That is represented by the switch. So if there are multiple options, we use the switch. If there is a otherwise scenario, if there is only scenario that based on the condition, we use the if. So there is the if else, and the switch. Then what is the decision? Decision means how to execute, or what are the various steps to execute the instructions. So this type of condition is felt or dealt in the C programming using a control decision instructions that can be implemented in the C language. So this is implemented in the C language using if else conditional operators. So there are three parts for this. There are three parts for the decision control instructions. That is the C. If else, and the condition operators. Now let's start with the if one. This is the same if the condition is true. So you have to give the condition expression over here. If this condition is true, then execute this statement. That means if a is greater than 10, then execute. That means println, or the print that the number is greater than, or the you have to write in the English, number is greater than 9, or whatever the scenario that is using. Now let's see one example. This is one of the expression, that is x equals to y. If it is true, you have to write in the English language that x is equals to y, like the same scenario that is given in the book. And if the x is not equals to y, you have to write x is not equals to the y. Then if x is less than y, you have to write x is less than y in the English language, like this one, x is less than y. Then x is greater than y, x is greater than y. This is less than and equals to or equals to y, then greater than or equals to y. Then we can also use the relational operators with this one, that is the equality operator, then not equals to operator, where equality operator is used for the comparison of the two quantities, that is illustrated with the use of the if and the relational operator. This is a demonstration of the if statement. Main, then int num, printf enter a number less than 10, then scanf percentage or ampersand num. This is a number that is less than the 10. Then if the num is less than equals to 10, printf what an obedient servant you are. That means what an obedient servant you are. That means what are the very scenario, that is what do you want to print if the number is less than 10. So first of all you have to use the void main. Void main means the main function of the C language. So this is the main function of the C language. Then there is a curly braces that is start. That means the starting of the void main. Then there is a int num. Int num means num is a variable that is of the integer type. That is int num. Then there is a semicolon for termination. That means the line is terminated. That means we are going to the next line. Then printf. Printf means printing on the screen. Enter a number less than 10. So enter number that is less than 10. Then scanf ampersand d percentage m, that is a num is given as a variable that is ampersand num. So one variable is declared. In this we are using printf. Printf means for writing on the screen, that is enter a number less than 10. Then scanf, that is ampersand of num. Ampersand of num in the sense we are storing into the memory, we are storing into the data into the memory. This is a scanf. So one is for the printing on the screen, one is for the storing into the memory, that means inbuilt into the memory. So scanf percentage t. Why we are using the percentage t? This is also one of the question. So percentage t, because we are using the int, so either we can use the I or either we can use the t. Then ampersand of num. Ampersand of num means storing the values into the memory. Now check the condition. If now look, there is no semicolon in the num. If so, if num is greater than 0 or less than equals to 0, then printf what an obedient servant you are. That means you have to print if the number is less than equals to 10. That also includes a 10. That means 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is not that less than only 10, less than equals to 10. So that includes a 10 also. That is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And on the execution of this program, if you type a number less than or equals to 10, you get a message on the screen through printf. So this is the screen, and that is print only this one. And if you type some other number, the program does not go anything. And this is the flow chart for this one. This is the flow chart that is given. First of all, there is a start, print enter number, or print enter a number less than 10. So print enter a number less than 10. Then input num, we have to give the input as a num. Then is num is greater than 10. So this is checking the condition. If the num variable that I'm taking out, whether that value or that contains a value that is greater than 10 or equals to 10. If it is greater than or equals to 10, this is another example we can say. It is only greater than 10, not equals to the 10, because 10 and the 10 is less is given to this one. Now this is greater than 10. If it is no, then stop. Otherwise, if it is yes, if it is greater than 10, what an obedient person you are. And all goes to this one, that is a stop. And to make you comfortable with the decision control instruction, one more example has been given below, that is carefully read out to help understand what the program is using the flowchart. Now, while purchasing certain items, a discount of 10% is offered if the quantity purchased is more than 1000. And if the quantity and the price per items are the input through the keyboard, write a program to calculate the total expenses. What are the various total expenses over here? Now this is the flow chart, that is to represent the total expenses. It's a start. Then this equals to 0, that is discount equals to 0. Then input quantity price. Input quantity price means we are taking the input as a process. That means input, the quantity and the rate. Then checking out if the quantity is greater than 1000. If it is yes, then discount is 10. Otherwise discount is no. That means there is no discount for this one. Then total equals to, that is TOT equals to quantity into rate minus quantity into rate into discount divided by 100. So this equals to 0, input quantity and the rate. Then if the quantity is greater than 1000, if it is yes, then discount is 10. Then yes, then total equals to quantity into rate minus quantity into rate into discount divided by 100. then print TOT, that is a print total. Then only the stop. Now this is the calculation of the total expenses. One is a void main, that is the main function. And then int quantity discount equals to 0. So QTY is used, then DIS equals to 0, then float rate TOT. So we are using the float as a rate. We are taking the variable of the, we are taking two variables, rate and the TOT of the float type. That means it also takes a real value, that is a decimal point. Then printf, enter the quantity and the rate. Enter the quantity and the rate means enter the quantity, what is the quantity and what is the rate over here. Then scanf %d percentage f. That means we are taking the two variable. One is of the int type, quantity is of the int type, and the rate is of the float type. So we are using d and the f. Now, if the quantity is greater than 1000, this equals to 10, and total equals to quantity into rate into discount divided by 100. Then total expenses is this one. This is one of the example that is given. The really thing is that the condition is that if the condition, then statement 1, if the assertion, statement 1, whatever we are going with this one. Then multiple statement with the if. Next one is using the multiple statement with the if. That means how to use the multiple statement with the if statement. That means how we are using if, then else, then if. So that is a multiple statement within if. So it may some happens, some organization or the program, we want more than one statement to be executed at the same time if the expression following if it's satisfied. If so expressions is used, if so multiple statements are to be executed, they must be planned with a braces. That means there should be a proper braces used in the decision control structure. For example, this is the example. The current year and the year in which the employee joined the organization are entered through the keyboard. If the number of years for which the employees have served the organization is greater than 3, then a bonus of 2500 is given to the employee. So if the number of years in which the employee is working is greater than 3. If it is greater than 3, then the bonus is 2500. And if the years of services are not greater than 3, then the program will do nothing. That means if it is greater than 3, that means a bonus of 2500, otherwise 0. This is the calculation of the bonus. This is the main function. Int bonus cy, y or j, then year of the service. Printf, enter the current year and the year of the joining. %t, %d, %c. This is the percentage d. This is the ampersand of cy, year of joining. Now, year of the service is current year minus year of the joining. Now, if it is greater than 0, bonus is 2500. Otherwise, bonus is this one. That is the bonus is printed over here. Observe that there are two statements to be executed on satisfaction of the condition that have been enclosed within the pair of the braces, and if the pair of the braces is not used, then the C compiler assumes that the programmer wants that only the immediate next statement after the if statement will be executed. So immediate if statement will be executed for the satisfaction of the conditions, and in other words we say that the default scope of the if statement, there is default scope, that means by default scope that is used with the if statement with the next statement after it. This is a start, then input, year of service is current year minus year of joining, that is greater than 3, bonus is 2500, print the bonus, then there is a stop value. Next is if-else statement. So if statement is by itself, will execute a single statement or a group of the statements, and when the expression following if evaluates to true, that is doing the nothing, when the expression evaluates to the false. And once we execute one group of instruction, if the expression evaluates to the true, and that can be used with the multiple statement with the expression that evaluates to false, of course that is false, that is used with the salary, that is the basic salary is greater than or less than 1500, then HRA is 10% of the basic salary, DA is 90% of the basic salary. And if the salary is either equals to or above the 1500, then the HRA is 500 and the DA is 98% of the basic salary. And if the employee salary is input through the keyboard, that is used in the program how to find out the gross salary. So write a program to find the gross salary. This is the calculation of the gross salary. There is a main function, then float BS, GS, TA, HRA, then printf, enter the basic salary, then scanf, %f, then ampersand of BS. Now, if the BS is less than 1500, so this is less than 1500, then HRA equals to BS into 10 divided by 100, BS into 90 divided by 100. Else HRA is 500. So if the BS is less than or greater than 1500, then the HRA is 500 and the DA is BS into 98 divided by 100. Now, What is the gross salary? That is a BS plus HRA plus DA. And when we want to print, that is using the printf using the GS variable. This is again the same flowchart that is available. This is a flowchart that describes how to take the input. If the input is less than 1500, what are the two scenarios? One is HRA is 1500, one is HRA is BS into 10 divided by 100. So this is a scenario how it is used, how it is valid for this one. Then there is also a gross salary that is equals to the BS, HRA and the DA, then print the